The first of these three cosmic and natural laws that we are going to study during this short course, this is only a motivation because during the course of 23 lectures, we are going to develop some more topics profoundly about psychology, science, art, philosophy, and mysticism. This is the law of karma. This name is very known during the history of humanity. Most of people knows a little bit about karma, but we need to clarify what karma means in fact in real. Karma is a Hindu word that means law of cause and consequences. But most of people, when something negative or any accident happen, can say, oh, this is karma. But we need to know, and Gnosis teaches, that karma can be only applied for master or initiates. That is to say, karma is a superior law that influence and regent only people that are awakening consciousness. Yes, this is a confusion that mankind has about the word karma. So somebody can ask himself, if I'm not paying karma or not having karma, what is that happened to me when bad consequences come to me in my life? So many problems, accidents, diseases, etc. We need to know that a similar law, but inferior to the karma, is the law of talion. Is one of the laws given by Moses in the ancient times. This is a reciprocal law that means eye for eye, tooth by tooth. Yes, all what happened before in this life and in past life, all the bad causes and negative causes as mistakes that we commit in so many faults, so create bad consequences that during this life we have to pay to the cosmic law and cosmic justice. The law of talion can be applied individually. If somebody is passing by some specific disease in his life, or let's say poverty, or one specific circumstance that only influence to that person, then we are talking about law of talion individually. Also, law of talion can be applied in a set of people as family. If one family have to suffer of any disease in common or any kind of negative circumstance altogether, that means that every single member of that family create some kind of bad causes in past lives or in this one, and then all of them need to pass for this kind of circumstances very hard. Law of talion also can be applied in some specific region of the planet. That's why in some cases there is like a natural phenomenon that only influence to certain place or area of a country. So all what happened in that area or place, then it is because law of talion just join that kind of souls and persons in one specific area, and then they need to pass for that kind of consequences of their acts before. Also, law of talion can be applied nationally. Yes, if some country need to pass, let's say for the bad consequences of a war or the war itself against another country, then it is because law of talion nationally. We are seeing that all the bad consequences that we are having right now in our lives, it is because we created before in this life and in past lives. How to free us from this mechanical and natural law of talion, and also how to live law of talion and then start to be influenced or regented by this superior law that is karma. First of all, we need to knowing ourselves. Yes, know that exists something that we call ego. This set of psychological defects that we also create before in past lives and during this life when we forget ourselves, when we don't observe ourselves, our way to think, our way to feel, our way to act, then we start to commit a lot of faults and a lot of mistakes that causes bad consequences also. We are talking about the seven capital sins or psychological aggregates that has been studied for the ancient cultures of humanity as laziness, pride, anger, lust, envy, etc., etc., etc. Because, in fact, and finally, egos then are the ones that, through us, are causing us these bad consequences of law of talion. The point number two is do not react negatively. Yes, because as soon as we react negatively to or front any negative situation, or let's say somebody that is insulting us, then if we react in the same way, then we are creating more law of talion. So this is like a cycle that repeats again periodically. So if we don't take the decision to do not react in this moment, here and now, everything what happened before will be converted into the future. Number three, take your own responsibility of all what is happening in your life. We don't need to justify ourselves and then criticize to the others as soon as we are serious in this path of the self knowledge and self changing in our life. Then we start to see that everything what is happening and what happened before in our lives, it is because we created, because our behavior in some instance of the life. In number four, if we practice the three factors of revolution of the consciousness, that is to say, psychological death, the elimination of these psychological aggregates or ego, reborn again, or the second birth, that is the wise use of our energies, and sacrificing for humanity, then we will be able to be regented and influenced by the law of karma. In synthesis, we need to say that all what happened in a person that do not want or do not know how to awake consciousness, it is like an accident, and that life is regented by the law of talion. That it is an inferior law that regents everybody that didn't take the decision to work in himself internally. So this is the invitation that Gnostic culture and science internationally give us to make of our life a masterpiece. We will continue developing this course of cosmic and natural laws. See you in the next video.